Hello, everyone, and welcome to another GRHRA Ignite HR Hotseat, which today I have the privilege of speaking to our fantastic president of GRHRA, Bobbi Jo Cox, who is also the HR director of McCarthy-Bush Incorporated here in the Quad Cities. And how are you doing this morning, Bobbi?
It's Friday, Matthew. I have had my coffee. You guys are going to get the buzzed up version of me, so it's all good. How are you this morning?
I'm always buzzed up with my coffee.
I think we have to be, especially on Fridays.
Oh, yeah. So, Bobbi Jo, and for those who are listening, we've done quite a few of these over the years, but this Ignite HR Hot Seat segment is the Meet the Board segment. So, we're allowing people to learn more about the fantastic board members that make GRHRA as excellent as it is. And with that, are you ready to hop in the hot seat today?
Let's do it.
All right. So the first question I have for you is focusing primarily on your role with GRHRA. What excites you most about what you have planned for GRHRA, both past and present, and what's the future look like for it?
Yeah, this is like I feel a super exciting time to be part of like the HR community in the Quad Cities in general, just because there's so much stuff going on. And then being a part of the board just makes it even more special. I mean, we've had some really great presidents in the past few years. Leanne and Liz and Joanna were all kind of the predecessors to me. And so we've really taken what they've done and tried to build on it and make it really exciting. The other great thing is we have 300 members now in the Quad Cities, which is a huge amount. And so the bigger our organization is, the more opportunities we have to do great things and, make cool things for people to attend. So it's just a really exciting time because everybody seems engaged and there's a lot of people who are interested in being a part of the board and we get to do some really great events. So this is super fun for me.
Oh yeah, it's been fantastic. You've been involved with the board quite some time, and as well as myself, and just understanding what it was from when I first started on the board to what it is now. And it's always just been baby steps. It's like you can't just take a leap to get to this point, and the amount of followers that we have on our social media page. It competes against chapters that you see in like large cities like Chicago or New York. So
Yeah,
it's been really exciting in those regards.
it is. It's pretty cool.
So next question I have for you, and I know it's been a while, but you went to the National SHRM Conference this year. What stood out most from that experience, and what takeaways did you bring back to the Quad Cities from that?
Well, first of all, I don't know if you know anything about San Diego. It was my first time there, but the weather was like
Oh yeah,
fantastic. It, that was the craziest thing to me. It's just everything was outside, which was really great. But I think this year's SHRM conference really focused a lot on equitability. They talked about civility again. There was really great speakers. Side conversation, if you are an Office fan, my daughter actually, she just graduated from high school, so personal story. She went with me. She hung out at the pool and did her thing while I was at the conference, and then we'd eat together at night. But one of kind of the most interesting speakers were the ladies from the office, and they talked about, some of like HR in the office, which was cool. And then afterwards, my daughter and I went to go to the beach and we're just walking along and my daughter's like, Mom, Mom. And it was the ladies who were standing there waiting for their cab to take them to the airport. And so they took a picture with her and stuff. And she was like so excited. I mean, so personally, that was a really cool thing to take from the SHRM conference. But it was a really upbeat kind of attitude that SHRM projected. And, they talked about going through the storm last year, and this year it was rise above. And so there was just a lot of great takeaways that were positive, which I always think it's kind of fun to come back refreshed and then share that with other people here in the Quad Cities.
yeah. I do love The Office. I've watched quite a few episodes. I have not watched them all. It's something I always say that I'm going to watch all of them, but I absolutely love watching the outtakes that they do. If
Yes.
I was an actor and I was on that show, I couldn't take it seriously. They would realize all the time, like, Matt, you have to stop laughing.
They
So
talk about that. And she also got her picture taken with Toby. So HR for the office was there too at the Paycom. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
the next question I have for you, let's shift gears and focus more on your professional side at McCarthy-Bush. What drives your passion for the HR field, and what does your work look like there at McCarthy-Bush?
That's a loaded question. So McCarthy-Bush is such a cool place to work. It's a fifth generation family-owned company. There are multiple divisions and companies underneath the umbrella. So I always like to say it's having like six different children with lots of different personalities because we're in manufacturing, mining, construction. Like it's never boring here, which is what I love. So it's a really cool environment to work in just because people like it's when you buy a car and you don't think anybody has that car, and then once you buy it, you see it everywhere. Well, it's kind of the same way with where you work too. So now I've learned a lot about construction and I go out and I see things. I'm like, hey, I know what's going on there. So it's just a really, really busy time for us being, here in the fall and late summer with a lot of construction projects and things that are going on around the Quad Cities. So it's a pretty
Yeah.
fun place to work.
You guys definitely do have a lot of projects. I just drive down from where my house is, hit the main road, and there's a McCarthy-Bush project. There's a McCarthy-Bush project. So yeah, it's certainly keeping you guys busy.
I know, and people aren't going to be super happy with us, but let's just say in a couple years when there's a big project going on around TBK that we might be involved with that too. So
It's fine by me.
road work is important.
Yes, it is. Last question I have for you. Let's shift gears now to just focus on your on your personal life. What's something fun and exciting that somebody might not know about Bobbi Jo that you'd like to share with those who are listening?
Oh, that's a great question. I think a lot of people know, but maybe some people don't, that my career kind of started in motorsports, which is unusual, but I worked at the drag strip in Cordova, which has been called Cordova Dragway, Cordova Raceway, Cordova International Raceway. But I worked there for 19 years, and so I love race cars. I love drag racing. I love everything about it. I love the people that are associated with it. So I don't get to go out there as much as I did before, but we still try and go out there and race, and it's a great time. So that's something that I love.
Yeah. What's the name that is near and dear to you that you would always call the place? We were talking earlier, everybody that's listening, about Chicago White Sox Stadium, where we still call it Comiskey, but it's not the same name. So what would you call the race?
See, I'm anybody who's associated with it calls it the track. We're going out to the track today, and people know what that means. So if somebody says that, they probably drag race.
Okay. Well, Bobbi Jo, thank you very much for hopping in the hot seat today. This is, I believe, the second or third one of these, and it's always helpful to learn more about you. And for our listeners, if this is your first time listening about Bobbi Jo, learning about Bobbi Jo, she's certainly at all of our events. And if you'd like to learn more, check us out at grhra.org and come and visit at one of our next upcoming events, which, by the way, we have our membership appreciation event coming up in, was it 11 days from now? So hopefully you
Yep, September 23rd.
all right. Well, thank you very much again, Bobbi Jo, and you have a fantastic weekend, okay?
You too. Bye.